the book. The PDF has been shared in the Google Classroom, so you can access it from there. But still, the students who are new and who have found it difficult to get the concepts mentioned in the syllabus, even after going through the resources shared in the Google Classroom, then in that case, they can contact me. And in the upcoming classes, maybe we can have a brief recap of what we have studied so far, so that they can understand if they have missed something, and after they have tried, and they can get a know-how of how to go about the syllabus. So the last unit that we'll be discussing today is about digital divides. Can somebody from among you explain to me what you understand by the term digital divide? What you feel it should mean? कोई बताइए आप में से डिजिटल डिवाइड क्या होता है? Anyone? ये टर्म पहले कभी आपने सुना है? Have you ever heard of this term? No response. Am I audible? Can you listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. हाँ, सुन रहे हैं ना आप लोग? मुझे लगा कि शायद मेरी ही आवाज नहीं पहुंच रही है, इसलिए रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आ रहा. तो बहुत आसान सा सवाल मैंने किया. डिजिटल तो आपको पता ही है क्या होता है, एंड यू नो व्हाट इज डिवाइड. तो दोनों को स्टिच अप कीजिए और कुछ मीनिंग क्रिएट करके मुझे बताइए व्हाट इज डिजिटल डिवाइड.
Digital divide is division that creates that one section of society is getting the benefits of digital media and the section is not.
I couldn't clearly understand what you said, maybe because of some.
Digital divide means एक section of society मतलब the benefits. There are the benefits की बात है. जैसे कि कोरोना के टाइम पर मतलब एजुकेशन रूरल एरियाज में internet problem की वजह से होता है.
Exactly. So unfortunately, I was on the wrong side of digital divide during the first wave of COVID, first or rather second wave of COVID, when it was hard lockdown. So at that time, my Wi-Fi connectivity went off, and my service provider failed to service my complaint. And because of that, I couldn't conduct the online classes for my second semester BCA students at that time. So it is really difficult to conduct the classes using my phone's internet connection, because the network was so bad in my area. The only option was to use my Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi had went off. Now, in those areas where this Wi-Fi connectivity was available, they could have easily conducted the classes or attended the classes or carried out their online activities, etc. So this is, yes, for whatever reason, this is an example of this division. There are different kinds of division. Cultural division is there, social division is there, maybe based on your finances, your income, there is a division. For example, there is a rich person, there is a poor person, there is a middle class person. So that is some kind of a division. Culturally, some people are considered, again, that is based on the popular notion existing in any society. Some people are considered as uncultured, others are considered as cultured. So these kinds of divisions are there. Based on social status, there are different castes in some people. Maybe that depends. Many people consider that it's from work, many people consider that it's from birth, etc. But it is there, and it permeates across the communities. Even in those communities who consider caste system as bad, even they have some sort of a caste system among themselves, because they think that people belonging to this particular caste, they can get married only to that caste, etc., and so on. So these divides are there in the society, and adding to that divide, now there is a new thing called digital divide. That means there are different aspects, not just the access. So we'll be discussing different types of digital divides in this class. But yes, the very fundamental aspect is access. Many people across the globe still can't access internet. And there are many others like us who have internet connectivity, maybe a little average, a little bad, a little good. That's a different thing. But we have this internet connectivity available to us. But many of them don't even have a smartphone. They don't have a PC. They don't have an internet connectivity. So they are cut off from this digital world, this world of internet, this world of information that can be accessed on our fingertips. We can attend, for example, if you have this internet connectivity, you can attend a course on maybe Coursera or maybe on
Udemy.
different what did you say?
Sir, Udemy.
Udemy. Any online platform, right? So they even the government platforms, like some platform offers MOOCs, massive open online courses. So you can make use of them, or you can access the online available course repositories of the foreign universities. So because of this internet connectivity, you are well informed and you can have a better quality of education. If a student who is living in a village who does not have an internet connectivity, even if he wants to devote his time and even if he wants to put in his efforts, he cannot have the same advantage as you. So that is a kind of a digital divide. He does not have the access while you or we have the access. So we'll be discussing on these critical aspects in this class. Let me share my screen before I formally start the topics from the syllabus. Oh, I guess I forgot to share the slides of the previous class. So I'll be sharing those slides along with these slides in Google Classroom. If I haven't shared it yet, it will be shared to you soon. You will get to access it. Okay. So there is a quotation here. Just a minute. There's a quote, just read it. Society always needs a level playing field. In order to do that, you have to have opportunity, and providing that opportunity begins with how do we bridge that gap, that so-called digital divide? How can we get internet into every home possible? So as I discussed with an example, that if somebody has this internet connectivity and he has better access to the information available out there, he has better access to maybe education available online, he has better access to express his views or to get his point across the people through the social media and professional media, then there is disparity. There is no level playing field. We are not on the same level. There are other people who don't have the access, who can't do what you can do. They cannot access the online information. They cannot access the online education. They cannot express their views using these free and easily accessible online platforms. So society needs a level playing field. But if this level playing field is missing, then yes, we have to acknowledge that there is a divide. So the digital divide refers to the gap between people who have access to modern information and communications technology and those who don't. The lack of access and ability to use digital media can be understood as a form of social inequality. It's just like there was a time when not all, but a section of the society used to used to differentiate between people based on the caste or community to which they belong. For example, they cannot allow others, they have othered some people belonging to maybe class A or community B or group C or whatever. They can't allow them to eat in their utensils, or they can't allow them to touch them, or there was a sort of this disparity in the society, and even now in many places this is there. Similarly, there is a difference based on the financial status. If you are rich, then you command more respect. Outwardly, yes. From inside, they might be abusing you. They might be saying bad words about you behind your back. But in front of you, they'll be folding their hands. Okay, aap hi to sab kuch hai. But if you are poor, then they won't give you respect, because they respect what? Your status, not you as a person. So this kind of divide exists in the society. Similarly, this digital divide is also a form of social inequality, where some people are not socially at the same level as others because of this lack of access, etc., to the digital technology, including internet. So they have classified it in three different categories. The first one is first order digital divides. It is about access, the very fundamental thing that we have been discussing so far. In its simplest terms, there are some nuances to it that we'll be seeing in the second order and third order digital divide. At the very fundamental level, the first order digital divide is about access. That means some people have access to internet, others don't have that access. So in its simplest terms, the digital divide refers to a form of social stratification that is simultaneously enacted and furthered by an individual's ability to utilize digital media to render their own self-interest. That is, our access to and use of digital media in part determines our social opportunities, but is simultaneously related and determined by forms of social inequality. Let me compare it with what is going on the ground. Say, for example, you are living in a society or a colony or an area that is not recognized, and some other person is living in an area that is recognized by the government. So the facilities meted out to this area will not be the same as to the other area. Some people live in the slums, some people live in the huts, and some people live in big buildings and edifices. So the quality of life that they are experiencing there widely varies. Maybe in a slum area or in an unrecognized colony, there is power shortage. But in a posh locality, there is 24/7 power supply in India. Now, even in other countries, different kind of inequalities are there. Because of this lack of electricity, there is a possibility that you may not access internet as frequently as others. Maybe you have a class scheduled at is maybe 3 p.m. But there is a power cut in your area from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Now, because of this power cut, your router has gone off and your internet is off. Now you cannot access this education that is being provided to you through some online platform. So it is a form of social inequality in a way, because it depends on many factors, including your social status, like where you stay or what is the facility meted out to you, etc. Kofi Annan, the then Secretary General of the United Nations, contended that the digital divide threatens to exacerbate already wide gaps between rich and poor, within and among countries. The stakes are high indeed. Timely access to news and information can promote trade, education, employment, health, and wealth. Information and knowledge are also at the heart of efforts to strengthen tolerance, mutual understanding, and respect for diversity. See, for example, if the people in the society don't interact with each other, if they don't know each other, then there is a possibility that they might feel alienated. And this might lead to different types of hatred and extremism. But if there is access to information, you know what others stand for and why they are who they are. So even if they are different to you, you can acknowledge that difference. You can understand where they are coming from. You can understand why they are not like you. And this will, by extension, increase the level of tolerance and mutual understanding and respect. So these are various aspects of access or the lack of access of digital technologies, including internet. And then comes second order digital divides. Digital divide is not only about access. As we have discussed, of course, at the very fundamental level, it is about access. We cannot deny that. But yes, other than access, there are other aspects that we should look into. And that takes us to the second order digital divides, that is about skills. Even if you have the access of internet or PC or smartphone, but you are not skilled enough to utilize it to the full potential, then yes, there is a divide. Why are you not skilled enough? Maybe because you haven't been trained into these skills, or you didn't have those opportunities to get yourself trained, etc. So it was soon noted that access alone was not a solution to uneven use of computers and internet technology, and from the early to mid 2000s, the concept of the digital divide was increasingly questioned. Initially, they thought that it was about access. If you provide internet connectivity to everyone, then all of them are equal. But that's not the case. Maybe somebody who hasn't accessed, who hasn't been educated in the fundamental things about how to use the digital technology. Forget about the digital technology. Let's say somebody who has not been schooled, who hasn't ever seen the face of a school, who hasn't attended any classes anywhere, and now he's selling maybe peanuts on the streets, maybe vegetables on the streets, because he has to make money to meet his requirements. And you provide internet connectivity to him, you provide smartphone to him. Will he be equipped enough to make full use of this technology? No, he may not be knowing what all he can do with this technology. So there is a lack of skill, even if he has the access. Yes, the smartphone is there. Yes, internet is there, but there is a lack of skill, and that creates a disparity. The binary nature of the divide, either having or not having a connection, was challenged, and alternative, more sophisticated models were produced that indicated a gradation of access. That means it's not like 0 or 1. Either you have the access or you don't have the access. Even if you have the access, then maybe you can grade it like having an internet on a small screen phone is less than having an internet on a big screen smartphone, or owning a computer is on a higher degree than owning a smartphone, etc. So there are different grades of access. It's not like you either have the access or you don't have the access. Plus, the other factors that come in and contribute to this grading are potentially influenced by the skills that you have. So let's say you have the smartphone or you have the PC, but you lack the skills. So if I grade it on different levels, so your access will not be at par with the access of a person who has the skills to make full use of the resources out there. Okay. The identification of lack of access as the main problem was challenged, and other factors became increasingly recognized as being significant in preventing full engagement with digital media and reaping its attendant benefits. The lack of skills in using computer and internet technologies was identified as the most significant problem, and the primacy of access over skills in projects to deal with the digital divide was challenged. People thought that actually it's about the access. So they thought that access is the prime concern. But now this notion was challenged. आप लोग अपने माइक का जरा ख्याल रखें, बिना वजह के ऑन ना हो जाए करे, वरना फिर मुझे म्यूट करना पड़ेगा. Okay. So conventionally, they used to think that if the access is there, then that is a privilege, and if access is not there, that is a disadvantage. But this notion was challenged, that even if, let's say, there is uniform access of internet, still the other important thing that must be factored in is the skills to make use of that access. Otherwise, that access will be meaningless. The new models identified the lack in skills as being central to restricting people availing themselves of the benefits of digital media in terms of activities such as business, political engagement, economic activity, and health. For example, somebody on the street who is selling vegetables may have the smartphone but may not know how to recharge his phone using online modes. So he will go to a recharge shop, pay him the money in cash, and then get it recharged. Or he may ask a customer to assist him in doing so. For example, one day, one of the vegetable sellers in my street, I was buying vegetables from him, and he asked me to recharge his phone. So I did it using some online mode. Like,
ये तो बहुत पुराना है, इसलिए मैं इसे बेचने की सोच रहा हूँ. तुम्हें ये गिटार चाहिए क्या? तेरा ये गिटार अपने.
शोएब अहमद, आप जरा ध्यान रखें, बीच बीच में आपका माइक ऑन हो जाया करता है. गिव मी अ मिनट, लेट मी कनेक्ट माय चार्जर. Okay, so I was talking about that vegetable seller. So he asked me to recharge his phone, and I recharged his phone using some online mode. And then I didn't only get the vegetables from him, rather I got some money as well. So maybe this is a unique scenario where you go to a vegetable seller and he gives you vegetable as well as money, because that was the difference. So he gave it to me. So he could have done it. Yes.
तो बार्टर सिस्टम कर दे।
जो भी आप कह लें। तो अगेन जिसको कॉन्टेक्स्ट नहीं पता हो उससे मैं अगर ये कहूँ कि मैं गया आज सब्जी वाले के पास, उसने मुझे सब्जी भी दी, ऊपर से पैसे भी दे दिए, ठीक है, तो वो हंसेगा सुन करके कि ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है। एनीवे, तो why did he ask me to recharge his phone? वो भी तो कर सकता था, पेटीएम यूज करके, अमेजोन पे यूज करके, क्रेडिट कार्ड, डेबिट कार्ड कुछ भी यूज करके, और नेट बैंकिंग, ऑनलाइन बैंकिंग यूज करके कर सकता था. He could have done that, but he lacks that skill. He doesn't know how to do it. So that is the lack of skill. The access is there, but he lacks the skill. Shoaib, I'll have to remove you. What is going on?
सर ये किसी सेक्शन में नहीं है, ये ऐसे ही आ गए, कोई को रिमूव कर दो सर.
Okay, I've just removed him. कहाँ से ये लोग चले जाते हैं ट्रबल मेकर्स? So कहाँ थे हम लोग? Yes, we were discussing the second order digital divide. It was not merely about access. Rather, now we are focusing on the skills as well, right? So the new. Which point was it? Okay, the last point. The new models identified the lack in skills as being central to restricting people availing themselves of the benefits of digital media in terms of activities such as business, political engagement, economic activity, and health, etc. So I gave you an example of, say, economic activity, maybe buying or selling stuff online. So if you know the skills, then you can buy this service, that is your phone recharge, or you can buy stuff online. You can place an order on Amazon or Flipkart or anywhere. But if you don't know, if you don't have the skills, you may have the apps pre-installed in your phone, but you cannot use them. Similarly, if you wish to sell something, again, that depends on the skill, the level of skill. You can set up your own e-commerce website if you are skilled enough. You are a graduate in computer applications, and if not, maybe you can just sell on OLX. There are other platforms where you can sell your stuff, etc. So, second order digital divides takes into account skills. Van Dyck determines a 6-part model. Just a minute. ये आने का सिलसिला बच्चों का लगा हुआ है अभी तक. So, a 6-part model of the necessary skills required by individuals to challenge the digital divide. So, this model identifies 2 sets of skills specific to the medium and 4 skills related to the content. So, this 2 plus 4 makes it 6. So, the skills related to the medium are operational skills and formal skills. Operational skills means the technical skills to engage with the digital media, and formal skills means the skills of using hypermedia. The content-related skills are information skills, communication skills, skills in content creation, and strategic skills. Information skills are like older models of information literacy. You have talked about. We have talked at length about information skills, and the communication skills is how to communicate on the internet using the written or verbal medium like chat boxes or this. Video calling or video meeting or webinars, etc., or using your blogs or social media, professional media, whatever. And then skills in content creation used for the production of digital media content, again using these different platforms that we have just discussed. And strategic skills like how to use digital media to achieve one's goals. Let's say you want to become a millionaire. There are so many people selling different ads like earn 1 crore in this particular period of time, etc. So again, how true is that is up to you to decide. But what I'm trying to say is that you can achieve your goals using digital media. Like your goal may be earning money, your goal may be learning something, your goal may be disseminating information, etc. So you can achieve your goal using certain strategic skills carefully curated for the digital technology. But that is not enough. We have talked about access, we have talked about skills, and now we will be talking about the participation and outcomes. You have the access, you have the skills, but how participative you are and how much advantage you take out of this digital technology depends on many other things. And here comes the question of actual social norms that somehow get transferred to digital world as well. Let me give you an example. Suppose there is a society that is crazy for the tone of their color. That means they are not valuing the people on who they are, rather they are focusing more on the complexion of their face, their skin color. People who think that a white person is superior to a black person, or vice versa, a black person is superior to a white person. It can be either way. And in that society, let's say, maybe suppose somebody is trying to build his own brand using social media. He launches his brand, his page, the product that he's offering, and maybe that product is related to, say, for example, skin cream. And that person has a darker complexion. And a society who is crazy, a society that is crazy for fair looking people, that will not give that much importance to this particular person or brand. So now this person who is modeling for this brand, or who is coming in the ads on that brand page, he is the reason why the society is not liking that page, not interacting with that brand, not buying the products of that brand, even though that cream may be a very good cream. But there can be a bad skin cream, but the person who is who is just showing up in the ads has a fair complexion. Kathir Alam has raised a hand. Any question? Any query? If it's by mistake, you can lower your hand. Okay, so now, even if the product is not that good, but because of the fairer complexion, that gets more interactions, and people actually go and buy that product. So using this online medium, using the digital platform, using digital content and everything is there. The skill is there, the access is there, but still he may not be able to achieve his goal, and he may not be rewarded with success, because fundamentally what is there in the society gets reflected online as well. At times this balance may be skewed, maybe towards one extreme or the other, but more or less what goes inside, only that comes out. The PC or this box or this dabba is just an interface. जो आप अंदर हैं वही आप इस डब्बे के बाहर हैं, और जो आप बाहर हैं वही इसके अंदर है। तो वो सोसाइटी अपने आप को ऑनलाइन मोड में भी अपने सारे वैल्यूज के साथ लेकर के आती है। तो यहाँ कलर के कॉम्प्लेक्शन की वजह से अगर उन्हें फिजिकल वर्ल्ड में सफ़र करना पड़ रहा था, तो डिजिटल वर्ल्ड में भी सफ़र करना पड़ रहा है। And this is again a form of digital divide that is more sophisticated than merely about lack of access or lack of skills, जिसकी तरफ बहुत कम लोगों का ध्यान जाता है। So इस लेवल पे इसे हम कहते हैं थर्ड third order digital divide. So this relates to whether an individual's ability or propensity to engage in the participative aspects of social media would be adversely affected by real-world material, cultural and educational advantages, and whether extant inequalities would be exacerbated or reduced by an individual's ability to participate. That is, are the outcomes or returns on use of participation evident in terms of reducing social inequality? इसको complex terms से मत समझिए, पहले आप examples दीजिए. I just shared an example to explain what it could look like. There are other aspects as well. For example, you have the access, you have the skills, but maybe you lack money. You are on the wrong side of the income divide. There are filthy rich people in the world who are creating these apps and portals and different platforms for you to use for free. And if something is free, then you are the product. Maybe they are leveraging something from you. So you are wasting your time on Facebook, you are wasting your time on Instagram, and they are making money, of course. But their own kids, or those who are at that level, they are not wasting their time on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. No, they are not doing that. What they are doing instead, using the same set of skills and same access of this technology, they are adding value to who they are. Maybe they are getting educated. Maybe they are making more money. Maybe they are achieving their goals. And they have this advantage of money with them, and you are at this disadvantage, and because of that, maybe you feel like you have the same access, you feel like you are entitled to get what anybody can get online, but because of this complex setup, you're not realizing that this difference is becoming wider and wider with every passing day. तहसीन, मोहम्मद तहसीन, ये माइक क्यों ऑन कर लेते हैं? कुछ पूछना है?
नहीं सर, मेरा
ऑफ कर लीजिए ना जी. ओके, अभी कहाँ से आवाज आ रही? ये कौन है? मोहम्मद. हो गया, क्लास खत्म होने वाली है. आप लोग बोर हो रहे हैं तो डायरेक्ट बता दीजिए ना, इधर उधर से आवाज करने की क्या जरूरत है माइक ऑन करके. ठीक है, ओके. So termed the participation divide or participation gap, a production gap or usage divide. This refers to how a propensity to engage in digital media production and social media engagement is commensurate with particular indicators of social inequality. Women, members of certain ethnic minorities, and those from lower socio-economic groups tend not to engage in participatory culture as much as white men and boys from higher socio-economic groups. So this has been observed that access is there, but they tend not to engage as much as those who are privileged ones. And I gave you a reason, just one of many reasons, because they will not have that much acceptance. Suppose what is participatory culture? Like, I am a listener and I am a speaker as well. Suppose rather than just listening to or watching the YouTubers doing their stuff, I want to create my own YouTube channel, and then I want to upload my video. I want to upload my clips over there. I want to say something to the world. Maybe I want to educate them. I want to entertain them or whatever. But because they don't like me in the physical world, it gets transferred. They won't like me in the digital world as well. So I'll be looking for views, I'll be looking for likes, but I won't get them. So I'll get demotivated and I won't participate anymore. So this will reflect in the participation and outcomes. Furthermore, as such groups are underrepresented in those producing media, the content produced tends not to represent their values. Those who are marginalized, they're not into the mainstream media, etc. Yes, there are some lone voices here and there, but mostly their issues don't get the limelight because they are not in the mainstream. And in this social online participatory world, again, they are being left behind because of the fundamental nature of the society that gets reflected online. Yes, there are exceptions to the norm. You can say that it gives more opportunity and some people are making use of those opportunities, yes. But acknowledging the divide does not mean that you don't acknowledge the opportunities available. Yes, but even though you have the skills, you have the access, and you are participating, but at a larger level, the society at large, the people at large, if you observe them in their entirety, yes, there are different kinds of divides. At the very basic level, the access divide, and then based on skills, and then finally, the third order digital divides refers to those divides that are related to participation and outcomes. A user's direct ability to use social media and the amount of use of social media usage does not seem affected by the status or forms of disadvantage the users may suffer. मतलब ठीक है, गरीब आदमी फेसबुक पे दिन भर बैठा रह सकता है, अमीर आदमी बैठा रह सकता है. It hardly matters. Indeed, a number of researchers report that users from low socioeconomic groups spend a larger proportion of their time on particular activities. तो अगर इस गलत फहमी में कोई है कि फेसबुक पे ज्यादा टाइम स्पेंड करना या ट्विटर पे ज्यादा टाइम स्पेंड करना नेसेसरली अच्छा है या उन्हें एडवांटेज देता है, ऐसा नहीं है. बहुत से प्रिविलेज क्लास के लोग हैं जो कम इस्तेमाल करते हैं, जो लो सोशियो इकोनॉमिक ग्रुप के हैं, उनका टाइम ज्यादा लग रहा है यहाँ. ठीक है, तो ये एक ऑब्जर्वेशन है. However, there are certain activities and aspects of internet use, such as searching for information and social media, such as networking and building personal brands, that are correlated with users of higher economic standing and other forms of privilege. यहाँ आप देखेंगे जो लोअर इकोनॉमिक बैकग्राउंड से आ रहे होंगे वो इन सब चीजों में उनका टाइम कम जा रहा है फॉर वट एवर रीजन. ठीक है, वो उनका टाइम सोशल मीडिया में ज्यादा जा रहा है, बट इसी मीडिया का यूज नेटवर्किंग के लिए, ब्रांड बिल्डिंग के लिए, पैसे कमाने के लिए, वैल्यू ऐड करने के लिए ये जो हायर इकोनॉमिक ग्रुप के लोग हैं वो कर रहे हैं. आयरॉनिकली, it is these very aspects that can contribute to enhancing social standing and improving economic prospects. तो यही वो चीजें हैं कि ये लोअर इकोनॉमिक बैकग्राउंड वाले अगर कर रहे होते तो उनके इकोनॉमिक prospects enhance होते, but ironically ये कर कौन रहा है? जो हायर इकोनॉमिक बैकग्राउंड वाले हैं. So there is a divide and we must acknowledge that. In conclusion, we can say the digital divide evidently still exists both internationally between countries and within the countries between groups. आप देख लीजिए इस एक्सेस ही की अगर बात करें, इंटरनेट का पेनिट्रेशन क्या इंडिया में आज भी 100% हुआ? नहीं हुआ. बहुत से गांवों में आज भी मोबाइल का नेटवर्क नहीं आता है, कहाँ से इंटरनेट कनेक्ट करेंगे? दूर की बात. स्मार्टफोन नहीं पहुंचा है हर घर तक. If you do the data crunching, you will find that maybe 40% of the Indian population is still away from smartphones. ऐसे ही आप अफ्रीका का सर्वे करके देख लें, आप यूएस यूके जैसे कंट्रीज का सर्वे करके देख लें, वहाँ भी 100% कहीं नहीं. तो ये सब इश्यूज हैं और ये कंट्रीज के क्रॉस वेरी करता है. ऑफ कोर्स किसी कंट्री में बहुत ज्यादा होगा, किसी में कम होगा, और किसी कंट्री के अंदर भी डिफरेंट स्टेट्स के अंदर अगर आप बात करें तो वो भी वेरी करेगा. Moreover, its multidimensional nature, that in some parts of the world, access and speed of access is still a significant problem. In other situations, the issue is one of a skill deficit, while in yet other regions, both access and skills deficits have been assuaged. Yet the divide becomes evident in the manner in which social media is used, means that single solutions will not work. कहीं इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी है तो स्पीड की कमी है, कहीं स्पीड है तो स्किल की कमी है, कहीं स्किल है तो पार्टिसिपेशन की कमी है. That means there are different problems in different regions across the globe. So there is no single solution. One shoe fits all kind of a strategy won't work. Rather, you have to have tailor-made solutions for each society. That's it. And with this, I formally announce the completion of your entire syllabus. Sajid Safi present. अभी मैंने कहा था आपको प्रेजेंट बताने के लिए. पिछली क्लास की तरह कोई मेरी हेल्प कर दीजिए, जरा स्क्रीन रिकॉर्डिंग कर लीजिए दोनों ग्रुप में ज्वाइन करके, ठीक है, और मुझे सेंड कर दीजिए. कौन वॉलंटियर कर रहे हैं? मैंने कुछ इंस्टॉल नहीं कर रखा अपने.
स्क्रीनशॉट ले लें.
हाँ ले लीजिए, दोनों ग्रुप में ले लीजिए प्लीज, ज्वाइन करके, ठीक है, और मुझे सेंड
हो गई अटेंडेंस.
ठीक है. Do you have any queries? अगर कुछ पूछ पाछ करना है तो कर लीजिए, वरना मैं स्टॉप करूंगा. और मे बी when we schedule our next class, whenever it is. अब तो सिलेबस खत्म हो गया, कोई इतना बड़ा मसला है नहीं. कभी एक आध क्लास और रख सकते हैं, पिछला रिकैप अगर करना हो किसी को तो ज्वाइन कर लीजिएगा, ठीक है. एंड यस, अबाउट द टेस्ट आपका जब भी होगा मैं अनाउंस करूंगा.